Hello, and welcome to Corona.
Second, it has the words "Don't Panic" printed in large, friendly letters on its cover.
Again, I'll just reiterate, I am not a doctor. If you need medical advice or you're feeling sick, go please see a doctor. That being said, as what it said before, don't panic. That's right, don't panic. What is the coronavirus? What is it all about? People hear about it, people talk about it, but no one knows about it. Everyone's freaking out. I'll just give you one real practical reason why people are freaking out about it. Well, it's the media. Right now, we had the whole big thing with the Trump thing, the Trump scandal, the whole impeachment, and then the media needed a jumping off point into coronavirus. Now, that also being said, it's not something to be taken lightly as well. But again, just repeat after what I said, don't panic. Just like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, don't panic. What is a virus? Well, it's a virus that is very similar to SARS. If you don't know, do your little research, Googling of SARS virus. But is this a death sentence? What is this? Well, it's a virus that came from a little known province called Wuhan province, which you probably heard of. It's a small little fishing area that has been now quarantined and closed down. And speculations that it came from a bat, a snake, fish, they don't know. And they also don't know how long it resides in people before getting other people sick. That's why people are like a little worried about it, because they just don't have enough information on it yet. But it's not a death sentence. Just like SARS, you can get sick, you can get the virus, and you can get through it. It's not, as I said, it's not a death sentence. It's just like the flu virus. If you get sick, if you take care of yourself, if you drink plenty of fluids, etc., you can get over it. And once you're over it, you're over it. So what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is because it's the new thing that the media is talking about. So everyone's jumping on it. People are freaking out. Now it's kind of going a little overboard and nuts. I think, you hear like all these people like, oh, we're no longer going to be doing business with China and we're closing the borders and we're not letting anyone coming in. The cruise ships, everyone's cutting things off left and right. I think it's a little over precautious, but I get it. What this is really is we see a virus, we want to contain it as much as possible. I mean, the amount of people in the United States that have it is so minimal, and the amount of people that are getting it after they have it, like you hear like a case where you hear about one more person in the whole United States, like, oh, one more person. Now, the big number is in China, but think about this practically. You quarantine a Wuhan province, right? Well, people can't leave, people can't go anywhere. So if you're surrounded by people who are sick, you're probably going to have a higher chance of getting sick. That doesn't mean you're going to die. It just means that a lot of people are getting sick in that area. So people are like, wow, it's an outbreak. Well, it seems to be pretty contained right now. And yes, they're trying to do diligence on the airports and the borders and everything to make sure that anyone that's feeling sick, they check it out, they test, they isolate them. But I just heard recently that if someone is suspected of getting sick like one person is feeling ill in a plane, that they even like mid-flight, you'll have to redirect the flight to one of the predefined locations. It's not like every airport. It's only like, I forget, like half a dozen or a dozen airports where you fly to. So you can be in the middle of nowhere and say, oh, we're going to have to go back to New York or something like that, which I feel kind of a bit much. And it's going to inconvenience a lot of people, but I digress. So what can you do about it? Well, coronavirus is not the sun. It's not a beer, although everyone's making that joke. Just be smart about things. Just use common sense. Wash your hands. Hand cleaner sparingly. Remember, you don't want to do it every day. Some people can go overboard and wash their hands with it every day. But the only thing that's going to do is make it unusable and ineffective. Just be cognizant of your of yourself and of your surroundings. If you feel sick, don't go to work. Don't go to school. Don't go to anything that's public. If you think you can tough it out, don't. Because the only thing that you're doing, you can be a tough guy, but the only thing you're doing is getting other people sick. So if you're in a particular job where you have like a 24/7 situation and you're feeling sick, do everyone a favor, stay home, get better. Even if you're at school, even if the teachers are probably and say, "Hey, why aren't you at school? You need to come to school." If you call them and say, "Hey, I'm sick, I'm feeling ill," if they complain about that, then bring me on the phone. I will school them on why it's important for a student not to go into a public school having a disease that could potentially be spread to others and possibly be an unknown situation. Now, okay, what's going on with this coronavirus really? Well, you have a small province in China, again from a fish market, that they're not exactly sure how it's transformed from. Is it like if a bat bit someone and they got it, or someone ate a fish that got bitten by a bat, or it's something around that spectrum of that area, that specific area. You can be in other parts of China and be perfectly fine. You can be in Japan and be perfectly fine. And just like SARS, basically those that are at risk of being ill to the point where it's dangerous, if you have a compromised immune system, they say the young and the elderly, but that's such a cliche, and that's not even true anymore, because there are plenty of super healthy elderly, and there's plenty of super weak, I guess mid-agers or teenagers that shouldn't be going. So it has nothing to do with age, although there's a tendency for older people to get sicker and not recover, but that's a lifestyle. If you're healthy, if you eat good, if you do exercise, you take care of yourself, and you're cognizant of your surroundings, you have nothing to worry about. And it's not a death sentence. You can get sick, you can get better, and you'll be fine. In fact, you'll be better than fine, because you'll build up antibodies in your system to be able to fight it off if you come across it again. So even if you were to get sick, eat plenty of food, drink plenty of fluids. Don't eat anything that's too sugary or too salty. That's for a whole other conversation, but it fits into this scenario. Sleep. Just do things you normally do to get better. And, take your vitamin D and vitamin C and all that stuff. If you want more detailed stuff, you can leave a comment or a chat or something else. And maybe I'll have a health and wellness chat, but that's for the other channel. That's not here. So don't worry. Don't panic. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, the biggest book in the universe, says don't panic. Follow it. Maybe you'll live longer. That being said, just to school you some knowledge. Right now, there's 811 deaths total to this virus, and a handful and change of people that are sick. Let's compare to how many people have died with the flu, just the regular flu that everybody knows about from last year. Last year, there's over 34,200 deaths in just a year based on the flu. Now, remember, that's having all these flu shots available, people getting sick, and that's with everything that people know. 34,000 people, and there's only 811 from the coronavirus so far. And it's getting close to about a month that it's been out. Usually when something is really, really super dangerous, you'd hear it's something in 24, 48 hour time period. Like, okay, if let's just say 34,000 people died within 24, 48 hours, then I would be concerned. So don't be concerned. Now, I'm not saying that you can't just, okay, I'm going to fly to Wuhan and just, blow caution to the wind. Don't do that either. Be smart about this. And it's practical. I mean, if you're thinking of going to the Wuhan province, wait a few months. If you're thinking of going to China, don't cancel your plans altogether, but maybe just shift it for a few weeks or a few months. And it's safe to say, if you're going to Singapore, where they have some cases, Japan, where they have some cases, you can probably go to those countries and be fine, because they have huge populations and they're very serious about their borders as well. So they're it's not like everyone's being quiet about this. They're actively trying to keep this contained. In fact, well, a lot of people don't know, is China is dedicating, this is amazing. They're actually building a hospital based on this virus. I saw this picture. They had like 20 to 30 backhoes digging this huge dirt path to build a hospital based on the coronavirus. That tells you their dedication to nailing this thing. So, and the scientists that have been working in the case in Wuhan, the only thing they're facing issues, they're frustrated, they're tired. They wish people would know that they're trying their hardest, but a lot of people don't realize how much work they're doing and putting into it. Well, I'm schooling you on that as well. So, again, say it with me. Don't panic. Just live your life. Just do what you do and just be smart, be cognizant. Anyways, here I'm trying to help dispel the panic mode of this thing and hopefully help out a few of my subscribers that may come across this or anyone that comes across this. And if you're new to this, please subscribe. I'm going to be doing more than just Pokemon Go. I decide this channel needs other things, but I'm still going to play. Anyways, have a wonderful, beautiful day, afternoon, evening. Welcome back, YouTube. It is now March 15th, 2020. I purposely split this video into 2 weeks time. This should show you the difference between when I first filmed it and now. And let me give you the tally right now. And I'll do comparison. As if we speak, there's currently 162,687 total confirmed cases globally. Over 6,065 deaths, but total recovered 75,620. Now remember, I was going to school you back from the previous video. Last year, for just a regular flu, 16.5 million people went to doctors for their illnesses. Close to 500,000 hospitalization and 34,200 deaths for regular flu. And those are just confirmed reported cases. There's a lot more that is unreported, unverified, but I'm sure the number's a lot higher. And that's the flu. So then again, look in comparison to like the past 2 weeks, and this is just because of everything that's going on. Now, what's been going on lately, and it's getting kind of a little bit irritating, and I'll tell you why. Well, okay, first, I've seen a lot of companies pull people out and say, okay, you're going to be working from home instead of being out in public. Understandable, safety, precaution, everything. But the run on toilet paper, Walmart, you go to all these places, no toilet paper, no tissue paper. People are panicking and they need to stop. Because what are you going to do with all that extra toilet paper? Once this thing blows over, you just spend all that money on the toilet paper and it's going to take you a good 6 months. I know what you think, like, oh, better safe than sorry, but you don't need all that, and you're actually taking it away from people who may need it. And if someone who needs it for different reasons, and maybe they have some other digestive problem or something like that, now they're going to be stuck because of this. This coming Monday, they're making a lot of people in the corporate world work remotely. So they're basically telling people, just stay at home, avoid people. And I'm going to tell you something. You can mimic symptoms relatively easy by psychological stress. Now, I wasn't going to get into this because I was going to do this for the health and wellness of my channel, which I haven't really set up quite yet, but I decided this is the time that I need to do this. But psychology and creating images in your head of all that's going on here can easily cause you to weaken your immune system because of stress, because of overthinking things. You stress yourself out. You don't sleep well because you're worried. So when you don't sleep, you don't take care of yourself, and you're actually causing the issues that you're trying to avoid by worrying about it. Now, I just went to Walmart the other day and also Costco, and just to feel, me personally, just to feel the people there, it's, how can I put it? It's kind of concerning. Anyways, I'm not too worried about that. I'm still not worried about this, despite all people freaking out. Now, I do want to say one thing. For all the corporations, it's good if you tell people to, wash your hands, and to, if you're providing work at home or whatever, those things are great. But Just remember, you are not medical professionals. Do not give medical advice to people unless you are clear to do so. Unless you have a PhD from a medical facility, do not give medical advice. Now, I'll put a caveat in the beginning of the video that I'm not a doctor. If you feel ill, I'm just offering suggestions on stuff that I've proven for myself. So anything I say on this video is just to help. I'm not telling people to go do this, but I'm telling you what worked for me, and it may work for you. It may not. Everything I say, check with a doctor, check with an herbalist, check with people that you may know, just to vet my information. You should be doing that anyways. If you're smart, you should be doing this anyways. But I'm just saying that right now. Corporations aren't doctors. So if they tell you do this, this, and this, do your research, because it irritates me that I'm seeing companies talk like they're doctors and they're not. And that's incorrect and that's wrong. Moving on from that, because that's kind of a negative thing, I'm going to be supplying some information for you. And what is this? Now, I'm going to give you the rundown of what people have been saying. Wash your hands, cover your mouth, blah, blah. You know all this stuff. I'm not going to reiterate it. You hear it a million times, and people go. Now, they say, wash your hands for 20 seconds, sing happy birthday twice. That's fine. Problem is with that, some people do it real quick, some people don't. I'm not going to give you any weird way of washing your hands, but just think of how when doctors go into surgery and they wash their hands, they do this. The reason being is if there's anything on their hands, it drips down. But think about this. Do you really want to do that? If you're going to wash your hands, do this. Let it drip down. Use paper towels to open and close things in the bathroom. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, they wash their hands, but then they grab a door, not thinking like, well, there you go. That's just a little side thing. Now, a lot of people are saying, stay 3 feet away from people, stay 6 feet away from people. There's no hard rule on that, and no one knows the true fact of how long this virus can last in the air. The reason why they're saying this, and people may not know this, is the virus can't last in the air in a different amount of time. It dies off. It needs a host to thrive. And when it's out in the air like that, now the amount of time it takes for it to die, I believe, is an unknown, and no one's really saying that. So a lot of people are telling you how to prevent from getting it. I'm going to try to give you some ideas to help you be a better you. What that means is keeping your immune system up, keeping your health up, doing things that you can do for yourself so you're more resistant to it. Because with this virus, you can't use antibiotics to destroy it. Your body needs to basically, when you have a virus, your body has to figure out how to fight this virus. Now, you can take the reason why you get a flu shot is get a very weak version of the flu that your body says, oh, this is blah, 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 blah. Let me figure out a way to combat this. But it's so weak that it doesn't get a chance to overtake your body. So, oh, this guy's weak. So the body learns quickly on a weak virus. That's why a lot of people get the flu when they get the flu shot. So they're trying to find a way to create a weakened version of this that won't overtake a person. Some of these things are very strong. Some of these viruses, even at a weakened state, are still a threat. But that's what the shots are. It's a very weakened version that the body has to learn how to fight it. Once you fight it, that number I gave you, the total recovered, their body now has learned a thing and can fight the thing. So they no longer get it or re-get at the moment. So what you need to do personally is to do what you can to help your immune system be as strong, top peak performance as you can. Here's the rundown of what I found for you guys. I had to write it down because there's a lot of information. Anyways, supplements, vitamins, okay? Some of these, now I'll get into a little bit more detail, and this video may be a little bit long, but I think it's important. There's some vitamins that are water soluble and some that are not. What that means is if it's water soluble, you can take as much as you can, and whatever excess you don't use, you just flush out of your system. Those that are not water soluble, those that build up in your system and could potentially be toxic. So you have to be careful. Now everybody knows vitamin C. Between 5,000 and 20,000 I use a day. It's water soluble. So if you need a little bit more, I take roughly, let's see, I take about 3 to 4,000 IUs, probably like every 4 hours for me personally. But remember, good rule of thumb, for adults, normal. For teenagers, like high teens, 3/4. For low teens, 1/2. For anyone under 6, 1/4. For everything I say, just use those measurements and you'll roughly get. Remember, these are just suggestions. Vet everything I say with doctors, everything, just don't take it on percent from what I say. I'm just helping. Vitamin A, this is not water soluble, so don't OD on this. 10,000 IUs for adults. So remember, 6 to 12, 5,000. Anyone under 6, 2,500. Again, consult your doctor, etc., etc. Zinc lozenges, 15 milligrams about every 2 hours for like the first 2 days, and then 80 milligrams a day for like probably like a week or so. Now, vitamin A is an immune booster. What that means is it takes your immune system and makes it stronger. It supercharges it. Vitamin C strengthens it. So you have it supercharged, but it gives you more oomph. So you get the immune system is stronger and more resilient. And the zinc lozenges are a stimulant. So it kind of wakes up the immune system to be like on all cylinders, so to speak. So you got, it's woke, it's strong, and it's energized. So you get your powerhouse of vitamin A, vitamin C, and zinc. Now, a lot of people don't talk about vitamin D. Vitamin D is also water soluble. I take 20 to 30,000 IUs. I have taken up to 50,000 IUs. Don't do it all at once. Obviously, you want to piecemeal it throughout the day, but it's also good for your immune system. Now, some more. Now, for children, the little school of thought is you want to use buffered vitamin C or calcium ascorbic. Basically, it's a lot softer, a lot more tempered for children. Free-form amino acids. Why would you need amino acids? It repairs tissue damage. That's typically a good thing for like bodybuilders, but also if there's any strain, more so for controlling fever. Fever is a good thing. I know a lot of people think, oh man, I want to bring down a fever. You only want to bring down a fever, like keep your temperature from going past 103 degrees, but the fever means you're fighting. So you don't want anything to suppress the fever in your body. You just want to control it so it doesn't get too hot, so you start damaging yourself. But the fever means you're fighting. It's kind of like how pain tells you when you're doing something that's not correct. It's an indicator. If you didn't feel pain, you'd be damaging yourself. Just kind of something similar to that. L-Lysine, 500 milligrams a day, an empty stomach with water. So it's one of those things. It's, no milk. Milk will downplay it big time. L-Lysine combats viral infections. Now, a lot of the stuff I pulled from things that fight the flu, but the flu is a virus, and these things are very general. So, and this is another virus thing. It's worth a shot because we're all trying to keep ourselves healthy here. So, like for like, if this is a virus, it may, there's a lot of things that may not be effective, but no one's really going to tell you not. Actually, no one's going to be telling you anything. Everyone's just like, just wash your hands and then you're fine. I'm trying to help you take charge of your life, give you the empowerment to do what you can to keep yourself healthy and keep your family healthy and keep everyone else around you healthy. I haven't seen anyone say anything about this except, this is something that's going to be a problem. Yeah, we know. Well, what can we do? So I'm trying to help you out here. Now, bear with me if the pronunciations of some of these things, because some of these words are kind of I'm not used to saying them. So, N-Acetylcysteine. What this does, it thins mucus. It's going to be a little gross, but thins mucus, but it's specifically aids in the prevention of respiratory diseases. Now, COVID-19, one of the main reasons why this is very dangerous is it affects respiratory. You can have coughs and you can have fevers and be okay, but if you have trouble breathing, breathing is important. And if you stop breathing, that's why it can become deadly. And that's why it affects the elderly, weak immune systems, because if you can't get oxygen, everything else doesn't do well. So anything you could do to help your respiratory system is gold. So just take that as a caveat. Now there's also Dioxychlor, which is 10 to 20 drops sublingually. Now what sublingually means, it means under the tongue. Not sure where that word originates from. But basically it allows it to get into your system without getting destroyed under the stomach. Because if anything you swallow, if the stomach acid destroys it, sometimes it makes it ineffective. So that's why I put things under the tongue or elsewhere. I won't get into the elsewhere. Okay, now there are also some mushrooms that you can take. Maitake extract, shiitake extract, and reishi extract. Basically, these are extracts from mushrooms that help boost your immune system and actually fight viral infections. So you may want to consider that. Now you could find these in like your health store. You may or may not be able to find these in like a Whole Foods or Wegmans or Harris Teeter. You're probably not going to find it in Walmart, but look around for it. Do some Googling on finding these things. I'll print up in the description the list of everything that I mentioned here, so you have a written down list. So if you want to copy paste or whatnot, put in a notepad, go ahead and do that. Okay, now for the tea section. There's a lot of Chinese herbal medicines that are really like tea related. That is actually very beneficial. Some of these are good to take before, some of these are good during. But there are also some caveats. You don't want to take some of these teas during certain things. Again, just double check with doctors, because there are certain circumstances where if you're allergic to ragweed, if you're pregnant, here's a bunch of teas. Astragals. You do not want to take this if you have a fever, because it reduces the fever, and you actually want the fever to, you don't want to reduce your body's fighting ability. Black cherry, Goldenseal, but make sure you don't do it for more than a week. Pau D'arco, Yarrow Tea, and cat's claw herb may help. But there's been some good things found from cat's claw. And this is a product called Clear Lungs from Rich Greg Herbals. That's a Chinese herbal mixture that, as the title says, Clear Lungs. It's supposed to help your breathing, respiratory system. Now, I haven't used, that's one I haven't used, so I can't really vet that. But it's a suggestion, so you may want to take a look at it. And cordyceps, cordyceps tonic specifically. It supports lung function, and it helps increase lung health. Now some of the other teas. Now I did some extensive research on these, so even though the information may be broken up, it's all consolidated here in this video that I pulled from all these different sources. There's anise. For anise, you take 1 to 3 cups of tea a day. What that does, it makes coughs more productive. So one of the symptoms is a cough. So if you are worried about chronic coughs or being prolonged, because remember, every time you cough, it disturbs your system and can actually damage your system. So you want each cough to be productive, more so you can get rid of whatever is in there out. So anise is good for that. Bone set is an expectorant, same thing. It helps you remove the stuff that's in your like system that's an irritant. Basically eliminates mucus. I'm trying to avoid being gross, but you know. Now here's a good thing, but there's a lot of caveats to this, and you probably know about this. Echinacea. I'm sure everyone has heard of echinacea. Echinacea purpurea with eupatorium. I'll put the word eupatorium. 900 milligrams a day. That's to help with the symptoms, with like flu-like symptoms. Basically the fever, the cough, etc. So you take 1/3 of an ounce in 1 cup of water, and do that 1 to 3 times a day. That's actually a combination of like immune stimulant as well as immune booster. So it's like a 2-for-1 punch. Now you don't want to take this if you have like chronic illnesses like arthritis, lupus, or maybe like some sort of chronic infection, like unfortunately like HIV or anything like that. Just one other thing, I actually read a side note. For the eupatorium, make sure it's dried, like dehydrated, because the fresh stuff has caused some interactions. I won't get into detail with that because that's a side thing. So just make sure it's dried. Elderberry, you heard of elderberry, which is sambucol. Aids recovery and prevents viral infection. So it helps you get better, and also is preventive. So it's also a good thing to have. Ginger. A lot of people think, well, okay, ginger. 1/3 of a teaspoon per 1 cup for like in a tea. That helps with chest and nasal congestion. So the side, blahs that you get when you're feeling sick, you could take that. Or now remember, sure, COVID-19 is out there, but the flu still exists, cold still exists, all these other diseases still exist. So this can also help you kind of keep healthy regardless of whatever's going on out there. Because a lot of people are forgetting this, all these other things are still out there. Kudzu, 10 milligrams, 3 times a day. It relieves muscle tension. Now you think like, why would I need that? Well, for a couple of reasons. One, if you start freaking out and panic and you start getting the psychological thing going on there, this will help you relax so that you don't constrict. Because if you tense up because you're worried about things, you can actually constrict your breathing, making you think you have breathing problems when you actually don't. Also, if you actually do feel sick, you get inflammation because you're very irritated, because you're coughing, you irritate your throat, you irritate everything. So your muscles are going to tense up anyways. So that's why you want to use kudzu. Licorice tea. I know, I was surprised. 1 to 3 times a day, aids in healing and prevention. There's this tincture it's OSHA tincture, which is now bear with me on this pronunciation. It's a Z-linguisticide. That has been known to kill certain flu strains. Z-linguisticide. I know it sounds like linguine. Z-linguisticide. So it kills certain flu strains. Now, it hasn't been vetted, hasn't been proven, hasn't been tested against COVID or anything else except for flu. But remember what I said before. It may be worth trying. Again, research this, do your own research. You'll see where I'm getting some of this information. So this may actually help. Now, back to echinacea. Obviously, if you have allergic to ragweed, don't take echinacea. For echinacea, you don't want to take it more than a day, like per day, like after a week's time. So if you're going to do this just in a week and kind of taper off of it. And for some reason, you shouldn't take it if you're pregnant or breastfeeding. I don't know why, but I saw a little side note on it, so I'm just going to tell you. Of course, as I said, ask a doctor and all these things. One thing to note, if you take zinc, don't take it with citrus fruits. So like lemons and oranges, anything that's acidic, because it reduces effectiveness and pretty much you'll be wasting your time. And it was something I actually found out, like you don't take iron supplements if you have a fever. I did not know this, but it's something that you don't want to mix two together. So if you're feeling feverish or you're trying to get over this or anything that's related to fever, just don't take iron supplements until you're better. I didn't know that. There are some things that I didn't realize, that if you are feeling sick, don't take fish oils, don't take flaxseed, and don't take gamma-linolenic. Not sure what that is, but I can understand fish oils because I remember being sick a while back and just trying to take fish oils to keep myself, healthy. But it started making me feel worse. So I can vet that. When I was taking fish oils when feeling blah, it really didn't help things out any. It actually made things worse. And there's also a side note: if you're 65 and over, L-cysteine and L-theanine are very good for keeping your immune. I guess it's like a pro-immune booster. And here's some other general things that you could also help to improve: green tea. And Scuttlevaria tea, 4 to 6 milliliters 3 times a day. But make sure that you don't mix this close to any other medication. So if you're going to take stuff, wait about like an hour and a half or so before taking like green tea and such, just because it would interact with it. Probiotics. I'm always vetting and vouching for probiotics. This more so than anything. It keeps your gut healthy, keeps your digestive healthy, keeps everything else, all the good stuff healthy, which keeps your body healthy. If your body's healthy, it keeps your immune system healthy. So it's like a building block. So keep your probiotics. A lot of people eat yogurt, but preferable in pill form because it will not get destroyed as easily in the stomach. Here's also some homeopathic remedies to alleviate viral or flu symptoms, which may also help here. Anaspabaria, or also referred to as oscillococcinum. I'll spell it out for you in the description. Oscillococcinum. It's a homeopathic treatment that works the very beginning. There's also Ocontinum napellus, belladonna, and also Eupatoria perfolidium. Now, there's also a side note with these. You can't really take these if you're pregnant. Sorry. I didn't make the rules. I'm just reporting it. So consider those homeopathic remedies. Now, one other thing I want to discuss that I hinted at before is psychological stress. Psychology can play a huge factor in anything you do. If you're lifting weights, you can psych yourself through several reps. If you're feeling run down, you could psych yourself to feeling worse. In this circumstance, with the whole everybody's going to be working from home now for the next couple weeks, which I think was a bad move per se. I know this is uncharted territory, some say, but I personally think it's a bad move because it's going to get people thinking panic mode. This is serious, which it is, but it shouldn't be something that you should isolate yourself completely. But I understand why they're doing it. But it's going to create a mindset of, I need to take care of my own. I need to take care of my family. I need to buy all this stupid toilet paper and milk and eggs, which you don't need to do. By the way, stop with the toilet paper crap. That's just causing problems. That's not actually solving anything. And why bread and milk? Okay, anyways. The psychology, you're going to start thinking, man, every little thing I'm going to feel is going to be COVID-19. No, but you're going to be convinced. Even if people tell you no, okay, I can tell you a million times, cough, fever, respiratory. Those are the three things that COVID's related to, but it doesn't matter. I have a sore throat. I have an itch. Oh, I pulled a muscle. Oh, I scratched myself. I'm bleeding. Oh, I can't get up. I slept funny. It must be this. Like, no. I've already had people come and say, hey, I had this. Is this COVID? Like, no. And like, are you feeling this? Like, no. And I used to be able to tell people like, well, have you been in China lately? Then you're fine. But people are doing the whole, well, this person didn't go and didn't bump into anyone. They still got sick, but they weren't proven. You know what? It's a lot of people are like panicking now. A lot of people are making assumptions. But I hope this video gets a lot of views, not because of YouTube, and because I hope people can see this and be like, you know what? This isn't as bad as I thought. And it's not, people. It's not. It's just like SARS. It's just like a flu. It's just like any other disease that comes along this way. Now, I've been telling people, just watch. Here's my little conspiracy tinfoil hat coming on. April-ish, I'd say in middle of April, May-ish, there's suddenly going to be this big thing. Maybe it's something that's going to be an attack somewhere or some sort of crisis or something that's going to be major. And suddenly everyone's going to be focused on that in the media, and this is going to quietly get swept under the rug where like, oh, because they're already working on antivirals. They're already working on solving this thing, and it's already out there. Yes. You're not going to hear much about it until they want to find a different news thing to hook on. It could be like, oh, a chemical leak or something like that. Who knows what it could be? But just watch. My guess is like middle of April to May, there's going to be something. It's going to take over. This is going to get quietly dealt with. And people are going to wonder, oh, I wonder what happened to that virus everyone was talking about. Think back in history of other diseases that happened within the past 10 years. Anyways, I've taken up enough of your time. I know this video is long, but I think it's very important. I'm going to list all things in the description, the teas, the supplements, everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a periodical live stream that I'm just going to sit and just question answers. But maybe I'll even keep it up and maybe have it like a COVID, chat fest where you can talk about your worries and concerns with other people. Maybe, I have a Discord. Check my profile, my Discord. There's not a lot of people in my personal Discord, but I belong to a few others. Join it, say hi, but talk with each other. Especially now that a lot of people have to work at home, work remote. You're going to go stir crazy. You're going to need content. You're going to need to be entertained. More so, you may need to have a social outlet just to talk about these things with other people. Go to my Discord. It's free. Go to my channel, my chat. It's free. You don't have to buy 15 million rolls of toilet paper and have someone else not have any. Talk to people, share your experiences, share your fears, and you're going to realize a lot of people will feel the same way. And you're also going to realize that this isn't as bad as you think. It behooves all the doctors in the world to get this solved, because honestly, it looks bad on them if they don't. Because if this does escalate, people are like, man, we really failed, and that's not going to happen. Especially in the United States, that's not going to happen. So guess what, people? As I said in the beginning, don't panic. If you need someone to talk to and I'm on, even if I'm not on, there should be other people on. If not, shame on you. You should join this channel, join the chat, join the Discord, chat, talk, express yourself. For those people that are working at home, now I'm sure you got your laptops ready. Infrastructure may or may not be able to handle it. Just be prepared that your internet may not work completely, or that other people's internet may not work completely, or that you may not be able to do your job 100% effectively. But that's okay. Don't worry about it. Keep yourself healthy, keep yourself happy, stress-free. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not a doctor, but I will tell you this. Make sure you sleep enough. Make sure you drink plenty of fluids, water. Don't drink a lot of juice because of a lot of sugar. Just a lot of water. Get a lot of sleep. Relax. Watch a good movie. Play some games. Take your mind off of it. When you're not working, play a puzzle. Do something that will entertain you. Don't exercise too roughly because that can cause problems, but keep moving, keep mobile. Get up every hour or so, move around. Maybe like do some simple sit-ups or stretches or something that'll just keep your blood flowing. That's a good way of keeping you healthy. I know some of you hardcore lifters out there are afraid what to do in the gym. Remember, people used to lift without having weights available. Be creative. Look around the house. I used to do this thing where there's a corner in the bathroom where it's like a hard tabletop or a hard marble. Put my hands in one corner, put my hands in another corner, and did like pull, like just like whole body lifts. You know, use whatever's around the house. Get a sack of like sand and just, you know, haul around your shoulder, or, you know, do like wall inverted push-ups. I mean, whatever you can to keep your muscles, but don't overexert yourself. Don't max out. This is a time for lifters out there. This is a time to maintain, keep your protein, keep your energy, keep your health up. Don't overdo it. What else can I tell you? For YouTubers that are working on your content, pace yourself. Don't stress out. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't overexert yourself because it can easily overwhelm you with here, especially with all your subscribers and trying to create good content. Don't go nuts over COVID. Even if you're doing content, just do one thing. I know personally, I'm sick and tired of hearing it all over the place. Every single person's talking about people that don't have anything, you know, aren't even authorized to talk about this thing or talking about it. Just keep doing what you're doing. And I have seen a lot of people that are doing that. Awesome. Keep doing it. This is probably the only video I'm going to do about it. I actually was going to do it a while back, but I decided to split it up to show the numbers. Compare 2 weeks ago to now from what I said to what I have, but then look at the numbers of the flu. So just take care of yourself. Everyone, join my chat, my live streams. Let's talk. Keep yourself healthy. Keep yourself happy. You know, see you in the next video or maybe the live stream. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And I will say this that has been repeated around, but it's hits home and it's important. We need to be there for each other and help each other out through this. That is important. If you see somebody, yes, you may be nervous, you may be afraid, but please help each other. Because they're not going to do it, we need to do it. Okay? I'll catch you guys next video. Maybe it'll be a game or something else. Peace out, everyone. Take care.